Greetings and salutations, though, fans of Dota 2 for some totally on time MD2L rejects.
Not at all.
Have my stream unmuted. Welcome for MD2L rejects taking on Klankers and the Guamments. We're here now at the nice little 12-minute horn going on right now. Accidentally messed up on my timer apparently. Thought the series was at 9. The series was at 8. First thing in arena bottom lane, though, there is a cold embrace there from the Wyvern. Baker, though, is in danger. Webby and Goliath are there, but Baker is still in the run. Legacy is TPing in on that Doombringer, trying to save his man Baker, and actually will. And now they're looking for the Mars instead. They actually commit the Doom, not letting this man run. He simply will go down. As that happens, though, Killjoy, as well as some help there from Shane and Ubai Wards, kills the Chaz, so a little bit of MD2L and MD2L action going on there in the mid lane. Let's just see here, make sure my, okay. Totally, we're good. Yeah, currently we're looking at a relatively small net worth lead for the side of the Dire. Looking at the net worth, though, it is mostly on the hands of that Doombringer, who has a Midas, and Devour, of course. We're seeing a Winter's Curse mid lane onto the Dark Willow. Killjoy will go down. Now Hex is there on Spectre. They're looking for a Tramp Protector as well. Pounce comes in, but it missed. But in comes that Infernal Blade. They're looking for a Spectre. Doom is still on cooldown. Now in comes Mars. In comes Darkseer. Dark Wall is not skilled. It's not Darkseer has to run away. Earthspike, though, was missed by the Guam, so we'll instead move over to Shane, who's being run at by Slark and by Wyvern. Will go down there to the Slark, so another stack of the agility there. Actually, the first stack of permanent agility for the Slark. But it is nice for him to get nonetheless. Okay. Middle lane, though, they are still going. Doom is stunned there by the Mars. Now in comes that Terrorize. They're trying to bring 3 back there. Wall, not there. Vacuum is there on 3. Now in comes Haunt. They're trying to fight. Dire still tanky. Finger is there in Goliath. He'll go down. Now Pounce is there on Spectre. Looking for that Spectre. She will go down. It's 2 kills for the Dire, but Dire are running out of HP. Can Radiant get kills, though? They're running out of damaged heroes. Killjoy gets stunned. Goes down. 3 for 0 in favor of the Dire. And they will go for that mid-tier 1 tower. The Chaz, he is large. He has that active Dragon Form multi. And despite the best efforts of, I believe, okay, Shane on that Tramp Protector, he cannot save that tower with living armor. Alright. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the sub, sir. I appreciate the sub. Okay, I actually have not done my setup at all, so I'm just kind of ad hoc casting right now, but I'm sure ad hoc casting is better than no casting, and hopefully I didn't miss anything too interesting in the first 12 minutes or so. I'm just gonna go stick my OBS. Okay, there it goes. That's where it's supposed to go. Middle lane, though, we are seeing Baker is being gone on by the Mars and the Tramp Protector, but he is still Wyvern. Killjoy has Bramble Maze. In comes Spear. In comes Dagger. They want to get this man, but Legacy is there to try to defend his teammate. Baker, though, will die nonetheless. Now in comes Guamments is on there onto Killjoy. Can there be more? No, it's just an arena from Mars, but Guamments attacks off before the Spear got off. Now Doom is there on Mars, but Mars is simply running away from the side of the Dire. And will get away quite easily at that. Alright, let's see here. Let's put a little scoreboard. Anything interesting here? Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary in that case. Actually, I'm going to see, what is a co-commentator up to? What are Snow's up to? Let's go message. Actually, I have an idea. Let's see here. Alright, top lane, though, Guam's being gone. Overgrowth is there. Shane and Goliath are looking for this kill. They're now looking for the Lion. Dagger's on the way as well. Will hit Guam, and Guam will go down there to that God's Rebuke. Alright, so this is a pretty good lead so far for the Dire, though. I guess that lead is very much inflated by this Doombringer, who is, what, an off-lane Doom, but went Midas first, has Max Devour, so it will be very, very farm in this game. He is, dear God, 3k ahead of Darkseer. And Guam dies sometimes. Sometimes he's off alone, in danger. As it currently stands, we are sitting at a situation where Dire have very good push still. They have that Dragon Knight, though Dragon Knight is relatively underfarmed. Only has a Blink Dagger currently working on that BKB. Radiant, meanwhile, they are here to farm their Spectre, obviously. You buy wards. Very pivotal part to this Radiant side late game situation. Though he is starting to recover in the jungle, though he is currently 5th in net worth, which is never ideal for a Spectre. Looking at the Dire carry, though, Slark is quite large, has that Diffusal, and also Midas has a double damage rune as well, so we're going to see a little bit of a potential aggression mid lane, though, if he shows on this wave. Yeah, he has shown on the wave, so no surprise there. Top lane, though, they may head over to Legacy. Overgrowth is up. Will they use it? No, Blink is in time from Legacy, so no kill on him. Bottom lane, though, we're seeing the Chaz is sieging that tower with the help of Baker. But there simply is not that much damage. We are seeing more help come in. Maybe have a Blink stun there on Goliath. It is there. Dragon Tail is there now. In comes Baker. In comes Guam. Is there a stun? There's a stun there from Guam. Is there a finger? Hell yes, there is. Goliath goes down. Terrorize is used on 2, but it is to no avail. And will do very little damage in the very end. Okay, let's see here. Let's look over at the Dire. Are they still pushing? Hell yes, they are. Baker is in the area, as is Guam. Stun is there onto Webby. But they're going to need a little bit more. Slark is on this backstab, perhaps looking for Killjoy, though Killjoy has that Shadow Realm, is fine for now. However, Pounce eventually will be there. Vacuum Wall are there on Slark, but in comes Overgrowth there on 2-2. Killjoy is dead. Now they're haunting him, but actually just 2 men stun from Guam onto the 2 men who are in that Winter's Curse. And now Chaz is fighting, as is Legacy. Doom is there. Unspected Spectre will go down. The Chaz is dead, but Webby is low. She's trying to survive with that Lotus Orb. Now in comes Goliath. Has Spear. Has Rebuke. Slark, though, still not dead. Slark is now dead, but Webby's still alive. Earthspike might... Never mind, it's still not enough damage. Can Guam kill him? As happens, Legacy is looking for Goliath under that tower. Has that Scorch Earth. Guam is looking for Webby. And we're seeing Baker looking for Shane. All 3. Goliath dead. Webby still alive. Shane still alive. It's an absolute nightmare. And Shane is trying to survive. Now Killjoy, he's respawned. Has Bramble Maze. Guam is back. Has another stun there on Webby. Legacy goes down. Shane miraculously still alive. As is Webby. Guam has a TP, which is down the vessel. He will tick down to that Spirit Vessel as well. For the side of the Dire. What a disastrous team fight. Is there a cancel there? There is a cancel. Vacuum is there from Webby. Baker will go down and... What the hell just happened? That was, an extraordinarily significant dive there from the Dire. They were under that tower for, about a minute or so. Did not work out for him in the very end. They lost a lot of heroes for that. They did not get the tower as well, which was their initial aim of being there in the first place, so that's... I'm kind of at a loss for words after that fight. That was... absolutely absurd. Trying to, like, compose my thoughts. Dire, though, obviously are going to outfarm Radiant. Pretty much no matter what happens, they have that Doom with a Midas. They also have that Slark with a Midas. It'll be on the Radiants to win these fights into a farm advantage. Though, if you look at it, this 4k net worth lead, it's 1 Midas here, that's 2k, 1 Midas there, that's the other 2k, so... They have effectively a very similar amount of fighting net worth, as the Midas provides very little to those fights. We may see a fight, though, at this rune. The Chaz actually blinks in, half trying to pick up that Arcane rune. Now Guam is there with that Hex onto Goliath. Earthspike is there, but it's reflected onto Guam from that Lotus Orb. And now Spear is there on Guam inside the arena. Goliath is low. Rebuke will kill Guam. Goliath dies as well. Overgrowth is there on 3. Can Dire fight? Bedlam is used. The Chaz is dropping low. The Chaz is in danger. He will go down to Killjoy. And now in comes Slark. Looks for Webby. Webby, though, still alive. Very tanky on that Darkseer. It's a 2-for-1 so far. Now we're seeing Doom in a fight there with Killjoy. Killjoy has a TP. Can he get it off? He will get off in time. So it will end up being a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the MD2L rejects. Casting from Dota TV SMH. Yes, SMH indeed, actually. But I may have messed up. We're seeing a hoof stomp there onto Darkseer. Darkseer is in danger. Baker is hitting him. In comes Haunt now, though. They are looking to save their Darkseer. They're looking to possibly get an counter initiation. Never mind, they're letting the Dire walk away. I thought it was 9 p.m. tonight. Turned out to not be 9 p.m. tonight, so that's my bad. Messed up my timings on tonight's melee, which is my B. Apparently I cannot discern the number 9 from a number 8, which is obviously my B. You might see a jump, though, onto Shane. Earthspike is there. In comes the Chaz. Has Brief Fire, has Dragon will not use either. Winter's Curse is there onto Webby. Now we're seeing Shane go down. In comes Guam. Hex is there on Darkseer. In comes Pounce. But in comes Terrorize. Never mind, it was pump faked out. And now he's caught by Legacy. Webby is dead. Legacy, Killjoy dies as well. To Guam's finger. It is a 3-for-0 exchange in favor of the Dire there. An absolutely fantastic fight on that one. The best co-caster you've ever had. You know what? There are some people who might take offense to that, that positing you're doing there. We're seeing, oh, good blink away there from Goliath. We saw a pounce attempt from Undefined, but could not get it off in time before Goliath got that blink off. Perhaps he could have attempted to pounce from further away in the trees, but probably would not have mattered in the very end. This is kind of trippy, though, actually. Both casting from Dota TV and casting on no delay. I am not used to that. I am really not used to doing this. I feel a lot like a streamer tonight and less like a caster, but that's my fault for not showing up on time and eating dinner. Was messing around with a crock pot and a rice cooker. Had a great time. It was good food, but that's obviously my B. Did not plan out my night appropriately. But you know what? It is better late than never, I suppose. I am here for the good part of the Dota game. Skip the draft, skip the laning phase. Middle lane, though, we're RC Goliath. Never mind. Thought he might go into the blink attempt onto the Chaz. Did not go for it, though, and obviously at that point we saw Dragon Knight blinking away to the side, away from the Mars. Meanwhile, looking at Dire, they are headed into the Radiant jungle, but they're now under Radiant vision. Radiant are picking the Slark out, and Slark probably knows, hey, wait a minute, I don't move very fast. They can see me. Dire, though? Never mind, they are doing absolutely nothing. How could you eat dinner at dinner time? What a shame. You know what? That is, that's my B. That is indeed my B. We are seeing some very deep warding, though, from Baker. We're seeing one over here. We're seeing one over here as well. Not in that traditional sort of high ground warding spots. Trying not to get caught. Radiant, though, are now in the Roshan pit. They have 2 hitting, the Inspector and they have the Mars. Dire, though, are in the area. On the flip side, Radiant know where Dire is. Both teams are aware. Radiant on the finish up Roshan fast. Haunt is there. Arena is there. But in comes Legacy. Has that BKB. Goes on Spectre. Doom. Pump faked. Cancelled. Vacuum there. On2. Wall used. Aegis down. To Spectre. Now there's a Doom. But it's reflected back onto Doombringer. Spectre is doomed. Doom is doomed. Fingers there. Unhappy. He goes down. Guam goes down. Spectre goes down. But it's only the Aegis of the Immortal. Now Slark looks for a pounce. But missed it onto Killjoy. by Wards is back, heads over to the Chaz. Meanwhile, we're seeing a spear on Legacy. He's still alive. Goliath now running. Chaz goes down. Back to Goliath. He's being gone by Baker and Legacy. Baker is low, but Goliath goes down. Now Spectre tries to fight. Perhaps looks for Baker. Cold Embrace is there, but now Pounce is there onto Shane. Shane is low. Stark is large. He's trying to fight. In the Splinter Blasts end up killing the Train Protector. And now, Dagger is once again there on Legacy. Killjoy is fighting. Spectre will TP successfully. But now Killjoy is in danger. Has that shot around, but does not survive. And for the Dire, it ends up being a pretty good fight win. It looked very bad at first. The Doom was reflected by the Lotus Orb. We saw the Aegis go to Spectre. We saw an arena and a wall disrupt the fight, but in the very end, it did not matter. We saw only a buyback from Goliath in that fight either, so Dire did not have to commit buybacks to win that fight. Now Hoof Stomp is there, only on to everything to good method dodge from by Wards. But now Slark is in. Vacuum was used onto, and now Infernal Blade's there onto Spectre. Spectre is stunned by Guam, and now Spectre will go down. She does have buyback, but still has no haunt. Now Infernal Blade is there onto Webby. Pounce is there. Webby will go down. 2 more kills for the Dire, though they lack a wave to a high ground middle. Their wave is currently bottom. We saw a very deep pounce from Undefined, did not hit it on Shane, looking for kill anyways. Now we're seeing Dragon Tail there on Killjoy. Jay goes down. Killjoy goes down. Now Fingers there on Goliath. Goliath goes down. 3 more kills for Klankers and the Guamments. And it's absolutely huge. They killed 3, and they will now attempt to get Barracks. The tier 3 is dead. The Courier is dead. The Melarax are under siege. It's far too much damage. They will go down. And they will head bottom. They want 2 sets. There are 2 defenders alive, but it is very fragmented. Spectre and Darkseer lack their teammates for 20 more seconds. They have no buyback. Tier 3 goes down. They head to the melees. The Chaz is still in that dragon form. Melarax will go down. They even head to the range. They want more damage, and they will easily pick up those ranged racks. And now it's time for the Dire to retreat. They are content with their gains. A full set of barracks in the middle lane. A full set of barracks in the bottom lane. And they will lose absolutely nothing in exchange on the retreat. They even have an Aghanims on Doom right now, which you don't always see, but it is nice to have this game, that is for sure. You put that break, you stick it on the Spectre, you ruin that hero's game. This is a hero who is literally 2 passives. 2 very important passives at that. So it's a very good game to have that items upgrade there onto Doom. We're also seeing the Infernal Blade upgrade as well, with the item shard there, but obviously at this point Legacy is quite large gold-wise, can buy whatever the hell he wants. I'm actually curious, is my, I guess for one second I can have the Dota tooltips thing actually work, because I'm casting with no delay. That is something of value. Radiant, though, they are trying to eke out whatever farm they can before the Dire go high ground for what could be the ultimate push of the game. T2 top is dead, and they will head over to the final set of barracks. Living armor is there from Shane, but it is doing very little. Radiant are shoving in this bottom lane as much as they can. But Dire, recognizing, hey, they're defending, they decide to leave. They do not throw away their colossal 23k gold lead by pushing errantly. They do have Guam sitting there waiting. Not sure what he's waiting for, but he certainly is waiting. What is this man waiting for, actually? He's waiting for his teammates. Radiant, though, are once again back inside their base. Dire are mass farming. Slark is everywhere. We are now waiting, though, for Klankers and the Guamments to go for their next high ground push. It is fairly inevitable. It is coming soon. It is not GG quite yet, but it is one more good push away from being over. Perhaps they're waiting on more items, perhaps a Scotty on Slark, perhaps an Arcane Blink on that Doombringer. There is, though, very little need to wait. They are picking up items, like that Force Staff on Guam, but they don't necessarily need to get more items. They can go right here, right now, if they need to, if they want to. Perhaps, though, they are savoring a rare win. Let's check these standings real fast before I trash talk more. As it currently stands, actually they are 2-4, so not as bad as I thought. This could be their third win of the season, bringing them one game away, a stone's throw away from 500. Perhaps even into the playoff conversation if they hit that 500 mark. Top lane, we are seeing Hex on to Goliath, but it's also Winter's Curse there. Now in comes Doom. They want to get Mars. Lotus was there, but it was late. Now Vacuum Ball are there on Doom. The finger is used. Goliath goes down. Now Doom is still fighting. The Chaz is still fighting. Spectre tries to TP. That one is very ambitious. Now in comes Slark. Heads in onto Weebuy Wards. And he will go down. Terrorize is used, but only it's on one thanks to those BKBs. And now they head to Shane and to Webby. Pounce is there onto Webby. Webby is in danger. He is being attacked, and he will go down. 3 kills for the Guamments, and the GG is called. Whew. Yeah, the word rare may have been poor in hindsight. But for Klankers and the Guamments, they're doing it. They are winning Dota games. They are now up to 3 wins. It is progress in the correct direction. Let's just go and put up a little... What do we got here? What teams do we have currently on this thing? We got Toxic Tacos. Let's go change that to Klankers and the Guamments. There we go. Let's go add a little... Okay, who is that? That's the wrong team too. Let's add MD2L Rejects. They lost 6 games. No, it's all false info, because they lost, I think, 3 or 4... I think they lost 4 games in the regular season last season, and then they lost at least 5 games in playoffs too, because 2 against Dark W, 2 against Dark W, and they 2-1 Step Bro. So that's 5 losses right there. So that would indeed be false info. And MD2L Rejects have a lot of wins. They're also in a pretty good spot right now. They're 4-3. Let's go update that one right there to 4-3. Both these teams certainly are still in that playoff conversation. Both teams, in a sense, are outdoing expectations so far. See, there is the next game started yet. Let's go over to Guam. Now, they're in the lobby right now, so we're still waiting. I am actually not going to join them in the lobby because I don't want to restart my stream again. That would be somewhat annoying to do. Looking over at the game, though, Fire clearly won the economic game very hard. Look at that graph. It tells a very obvious story. Player net worth one probably tells an even more obvious story, though. We saw these two players buy their Midases on Slark and Doombringer, and just never really got stopped. While I'm in the stream right now, sniping, can't wait to... Nah, it's one of those things where I'm not going to cast in the lobby. It'll be on Dota TV, therefore it won't matter that he's here. It'll be the exact same delay as if he watched in Dota TV. And would Guam really cheat that hard to win a league that he's not going to win anyways? That's my question. I have a ping on Discord. Who is it on this fine evening? It is Guam. I will be casting from Dota TV, sir. I'm good. Then I want to restart my stream again. I believe a ranked game matters a hell of a lot less than a, just gonna go and stay in Dota TV tonight. There we go. I believe a competitive match matters a good bit more than a ranked pub. That just might be me being old-fashioned. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. It's good though to see Guam rigging the script for Season 7. I mean, the script so far has been interesting. We have seen a lot of newcomers entering the league, doing very well on this particular season. We saw Dark W go into hibernation. Tacos, the heir apparent, has struggled this season. They have lost more games than they have won. They certainly are not going to win their group this season, as they were expected to do. They're now at a point where they need to start winning games to even make playoffs. Looking over at the larger lads picture, I don't think I've done this yet this season. Look at the larger picture. I'm pulling up the win losses overall for both groups. Wait, do I have a Chrome thing on my OBS? Do I have a Chrome thing right now? Oh. If I get rid of the Dota... Nope, that did not do it. That did not give me what I was looking for. What about, that? Nope. That did not do it either. What if we reconfigure the properties? Have it go to, unknown... Oh! There it is. So now if we pull this up right there... Ah, there we go. So, you look over at the standings right now. 4 lads. And looking at the larger picture, this is during make sure the lobby's not up yet. The lobby is up. So as we are waiting to get into the lobby, not the lobby, get into the Dota TV, we can look at the overall standings. As it currently stands, let's look at Group B first, because that's obviously the group that we're casting. The former Step Bro I'm Stuck team, now known as Sheesh, gone from one crappy meme to another. They are currently leading the group with a dominant 7-1 record. They have drawn 1 series and they have won the rest. They've done very well so far this season. Behind that, though, there are a lot of teams in the mix. A lot of teams in that 3 to 4 win range. Roll Swap currently are 4-2. MD2L Rejects 4-3. Nebula 3-1. Funny Zone 3-1 as well. Klankers and the Guamments 3-4. A lot of teams in that same range. And then, unfortunately, there are 2 teams who have been struggling in the groups. We have Low Key Noobs, who currently are 2-8. And then there is Rare Candy, who are 1-7. At the Radiant, though, it's a very different tale. We have Nearly Tilted currently lead the group there at 5 wins and 1 loss. Apes Imps are not that far behind, though they have played more series. They are currently sitting at 5-3. Tacos despite their struggles, are still third in the group, technically at that 4-6 record, but there are teams below them who have not played many series. Nexty are 3-1, Polaras are 3-1, 5 Dudes are 1-1, Psych currently 2-4, I believe. And then we have Only You Are Older, who currently is the only team in Lads without a win, are currently sitting at 0-6. Back over to the game in question, though, we have MD2L Rejects taking on Klankers and the Guamments for game number 2. The Guamments won game number 1, and now both teams are on the precipice of 500. If MD12 Rejects win and if MD12 Rejects lose and the Guamments win, both teams will be 500. Both teams obviously have a lot of reason to win this particular game. What is this? Oh. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna pull this little buddy down here. I'm gonna pull this little buddy right here. Let's do Guam 10 MD2L. There we go, we did it. Production value. I don't think I need to bring back the the mint ice cream counter. Even though I am a big fan, it is not being brought up so many times in a particular cast to warrant a counter for it. And if I'm able to, this will be the last time tonight that I mention it. Is that who I think it is?
This is bullshit. Bring back the mint ice cream.
So Artorius joined me on Discord, not to join me casting, but to tell me to bring back mint chip ice cream. I have a draft to talk about at this point. I have a draft to talk about at this point. We have some heroes that have been picked. Obviously, AA Doom being banned out by the Radiance. Ursa Grimstroke first phase banned by the Dire. We saw an opening of Winter Wyvern into a response. Hoodwink DK and Klankers, as somewhat expected, have countered out that DK with a Viper pick. Do you want to join me now, Mr. Angryface?
Seconds remaining.
Second phase bans, though, are,
5 seconds remaining.
I'm going to say, somewhat expected. We are seeing Protato's Meepo get banned out, as well as some top meta carries in that Void, in that Luna. MD2L Rejects ban out Timber Inspector, so nothing too out of the ordinary on that one either. Guess everything is in accord for now. I'm actually curious to see if either team brings out anything really off meta, really out of the ordinary tonight. It certainly is possible. Nothing too surprising yet, though. I mean, Phoenix is a relatively common hero in the current patch. Not, one of your top of the meta staples, but still a hero you see somewhat frequently. Especially now that the Ancient Apparition is banned out, and is banned out in a lot of games for that matter. It makes more sense to see an uptick in Phoenix play.
Remaining.
Guamments, though, they have a they have a good number of flying heroes already. They have that Winter Wyvern, they have the Viper. Unfortunately, though, MD2L Rejects grabbed a flying hero. They grabbed the Phoenix, which means if they want more flying heroes, they'll have to go like Jakir or something, and they will ultimately not go with the flying strat. They will pick the Tusk. So they have probably their 3 through 5 situation. Obviously, they can put the Viper middle if they want to, but it's probably a Viper 3, Tusk 4, Wyvern 5, which means they'll have a very sort of... I mean, it's the tale of two supports. You have Wyvern, fundamentally the sort of extremely cooldown dependent support in the laning phase. A hero who wants to trade when the abilities are up. And a hero who wants to, fundamentally save heroes. Versus Tusk, who is a hero with very low cooldowns, who will run at the enemy repeatedly and just bash his head in. It's two very, very different supports. And that leaves MD2L Rejects to ask, alright, would we rather just have the Phoenix lane into the Tusk, put on Fire Spirits, escape there with the dive? The answer is probably, which means you're looking at a potential DK Hoodwink offlane. It also means now that they're showing the Tusk, they say, you know what? We will go Ricky and Phoenix into this lane. If they go on us with shards and tag team, we can dive away on Phoenix, we can blink away on Ricky, both heroes who have some way to mitigate that aggression potential from that Viper-Tusk combination.
5 seconds remaining.
I like it. I think it makes sense. I think it certainly makes sense to do that. Question is, do they put the DK mid, do they put the DK offlane? Do they put the Hoodwink mid, do they put the Hoodwink? Or all possible. So they have a lot of versatility going into that 24 pick. Klankers, though, say, you know what? We will grab the PL. We think our carry player, on Undefined, plays PL pretty well. We don't think your Ricky is going to itemize to counter out the PL. We've seen Rickies in the past go for using B-Fury sort of build, but with that change to Tricks of the Trade, giving it bonus agility rather than bonus damage. We have been seeing different builds on the Rickies. We've been seeing these Agi items. We've even been seeing Aghanim shards, but not really many B-Furies. Possibly could change this game. We could potentially see the classic B-Fury build on Ricky. Whatever classic means anymore, but
5 seconds remaining.
it is more than likely this PL will have a pretty good game. Not a hero who cares too much about Phoenix. Not a hero who cares too much about DK. Obviously, DK in the ultra late game with the not necessarily ultra late game, but DK in the sort of mid to late game with an Aghanim Scepter, with an Aghanim Shard, has some tools to deal with PL, but PL in general is fine with that matchup.
Team ban.
MD2L Rejects, though, they're not. Wait, did they ban the Magnus? Huh. Would almost expect them to pick Magnus on the Radiant.
Remaining.
Instead, though, they ban out the Magnus.
5
So I'm not sure what's going on through the heads right now, what their strategy is. Obviously, we will find out very soon, considering we are running out of picks. We are currently on the penultimate ban of the draft. The last one, for that matter, for the side of Klankers and the Guamments sort of series. I am somewhat interested to see what they end up doing with this last pick for MD2L Rejects. It feels like they need to really pick a win hero, because I'm not necessarily sure that DK is going to have a great game this game. I'm not necessarily sure the Ricky will have a great game this game. So it feels like this last hero really needs to be the hero that puts their draft together. And obviously that is the
Ban.
fundamental idea behind picking these 24 pick heroes, where you have the weaker first phase and the weaker second phase, where they have the 8 pick and they have the 18 pick. And this is where you have your chance to pick this sort of 24 pick. Perhaps a cheese hero, perhaps a strong hero for the particular game. We will have to see. But before we see that, we'll have to see what Klankers and the Guamments grab. We're assuming it'll be either an offlane or a mid lane, depending whether it's the Viper 3 or the Viper 2.
5 seconds.
Could be either, obviously. MD2L rejects, though, think it is a mid Viper. They have banned out Magnus, they have banned out Underlord. And it will end up being an offline Viper, actually. So look for the mid DP for the Chaz, the man, the artist, formerly known as Spiders the Unbreakable. Leading the Viper to be their offline hero instead. Which means now, do you really want to lane the DK into the DP? Seems like it could be somewhat
5 seconds.
unfun for the DK. Actually, it would be pretty unfun for both sides. Obviously, both DK and the Death Prophet want to push into mid-tier 1 tower, but both those heroes will also be a counterbalance, pushing out the lane if the other one pushes in. That obviously could make a pretty static mid-lane situation. Alternatively, they put the DK off lane, they lane it into the PL, and PL will not put the first hero out. Then you need a hero who can really do well into the DP. You could go for one of the spirits, perhaps. Obviously, Storm, Ember, Void Spirit, all not banned, all potentially decent here, though the DP will obviously push in that tower when things happen. Instead, though, will be the Puck, a different, very mobile, middle lane hero. Whose draft do I like more this game? Okay. My big question right now is, what do the Radiant plan to do about this PL? Because I'm not particularly sure they're going to be able to really shut this PL down. And that could be an issue when it comes to late games. I think in general I prefer the Dire draft. I think if the Radiants execute well, they obviously have a very good winning condition. But I think the Dire have a much easier draft to play. They have 2 very tanky cores who can play active, who can make space for the PL. And then a PL who can, given equal farm, should be able to carry this game. Radiant, though, do have more active early heroes, so there's certainly a level of execution that will be required for them to win this game. They can play active with the Ricky in a way that the Dire really can't do with the PL that early. So eventually they can force the issue, get outer towers, choke the map out, and then win an economic game. I would say they can force the high ground, but their high ground force is obviously not that great. They really only have DK to do that. Regardless, though, I'm still going to prefer the Dire draft. I think both drafts have their merits. Regardless, though, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of MD2L Rejects, taking on Klankers and the Guamments. Klankers and the Guamments won game number 1 in the series. I actually need to adjust my little thingy on let's do MD2L 01. There we go, that's better. I will do that. Okay. Yeah, they did win game number 1. Currently, Guamments are 3-4. MD2L Rejects are 4-3. Both are in the playoff hunt. Both need these wins. Currently, there are 6 teams in the playoff hunt for 5 spots. So, if you are one of the bubble teams like both of these teams are, they are very important wins. The tooltips are cool, and apparently they don't work on delay the way they're supposed to. Mid lane, though, Goliath is going for the D-ward, but now in come the Dire. Radiant, though, are spotted. Goliath may need to ward. Actually, may need to orb. Actually, this is Potato, isn't it? I just realized that.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Not very important. We're seeing a fight here at the runes. Never mind. Dire are letting this rune go. Webby will easily grab that, but it will be 2 bounty runes apiece for both sides. Nothing too wild and crazy. We are seeing Dire, though, attempted a D-Ward here, did not hit on it. It is currently here, and I believe they don't have any more Sentry Wards. They have one more on Baker, actually, but they do not want to commit it. They want to put that onto the hard camp, obviously. Guam has started Orb of Venom, so no boots. Obviously, bought that Sentry earlier, I'm assuming, so that's where some of that gold went. Does mean, though, that it seems like Guam wants to play as 2 with the Chaz in this bottom lane. Potentially going for a kill rather than simply trading with Shane. He goes in with the tag team, but this is not going to go that well for the Dire with the Chaz being so low. So let me just, have they role swapped on Klankers and the Guamments? So they moved have they moved Spite as Mr. Chaz over here to offlane? And then moved Legacy to mid? That been their MO here? Seems like it. I know the Chaz has been more of an offlane player as of recently, though I thought he was going to possibly be playing mid for this team. Maybe it's a hero thing, I'm not entirely sure. Top lane, they are going on Webby though. Spirit Lance is there. Arctic Burn was there, and PL's looking for this kill, but lacks the mana for Spear. Though, obviously DK not very happy. Does not have the regen needed to regen up that damage. Did not skill Dragon's Blood as level 1 passive, so has no regen in that sense. We're seeing Guam is being very annoying right now. Is hitting U-Buy wards with that Orb of Venom. They are contesting those neutral creeps. Looks like Ricky, though, will be fine. Will tank a little bit of damage, but will be fine in the very end. You see Webby once again taking a good bit of damage in the top lane, but he now has that Dragon's Blood passive, so should be fine. It's a very good job from Guam here, just keeping the Ricky away from the wave. Obviously the wave was disrupted, both supports ended up pulling at some point. It's a very pivotal bottom lane situation. It's very important for both the DP and the Ricky. There are multiple range creeps to be claimed on both sides. Top lane, Webby is fine. Back to bottom lane. Back to these very important range creeps. Where do they go? Ricky last hits both and denies one, so Radiant certainly winning out on that engagement. You're not even in Mortal, what do you mean? Literally, not even in Mortal. Looking over at last, it's nothing too shocking quite yet. We are seeing Viper on top of Puck, which isn't too shocking given the matchup. Top lane, though, they are going on to Killjoy, though the Bushwhack is there onto 2 heroes. Which means everyone will be fine in that top lane situation.
Dire's courier has been killed.
We're seeing Dragon Tail and Arctic Burn being thrown out, but nobody should die. Nobody's really in too much significant danger. Splinter Blast actually is up right now, so Killjoy needs to be a little bit careful with this wave coming in eventually, but it will not be there for a while. Bottom lane, Ricky is somewhat under attack, but is also fine. It is fine for now. We're seeing Phoenix now return to the lane. It is going to salve the Ricky, so we'll fully heal up that carry. Allow him to return to CSing there. Bushwhack was missed top lane. Bottom lane, we're seeing a Phoenix dive be used. We're seeing DP drop low, and then we have top lane. Killjoy is very low. Baker's looking to go back to bottom lane. Everybody is fine back to top lane. Hoodwink, juked. So there still isn't first blood quite yet, but we still are on first blood watch in both these side lanes. Siphon was used bottom lane, but the Chaz, nice mana for Crypt Swarm. Back to top lane, DK is tanking. Splinter Blast is there, PL's running at him. Looking for the kill, perhaps, but it is still Dragon Knight has that 2 points in Dragon's Blood, so he is very tanky with that passive. I didn't miss game 1. Well, okay, I didn't miss most of game 1. I missed, like a fourth of game 1. I call it most of game 1. Keyword is most. Top lane, we see Dragon Tail once again there on PL. PL is actually quite low. Has Fairy Fire and Stick Charges, so he is still fighting. It's going to be A-okay. We see Guam in the middle lane area, but there is no kill attempt there. It is merely a Tusk. The Viper is not present. Bushwhack? Never mind, wasn't. Oh, there it is. It hasn't used after Doppelganger. The Webby is taking this tower now. PL and Wyvern are going in. Dragon Tail is there, but it's on an illusion. Is there a mana for Splinter Blast? No, there's not. Webby is still on the run, is quite low, has a salve, is juking, and will get healed. So still, there will be no first blood. Not quite yet. Good attempt there onto Webby, but ultimately was not good enough for a kill. I noticed a lot of these Lads games recently have been very late first bloods. I think there's one of the Tacos games yesterday. First blood's around minute 6.5. This one we're now at minute 7. Still no first blood. Siphon is used bottom. Shards is used as well, but as mentioned during the draft, Ricky has a way to escape that one. Potato rotated top lane on Puck, but has not found any heroes quite yet. Back to bot lane. Once again, Ricky and Phoenix, both heroes who have a way to escape from the ice shards. So should not die there. You will have to wait a little bit longer on first blood. Dire are hitting the tower with the siege units. Minute 5 siege unit is still alive. Viper is quite low with these creeps, but will not die. Meanwhile, top lane, the running of the Arctic Burn is there. PL has Lance, will use it, but there it is. Splinter Blast draws first blood. It goes to Bigger. And now, at minute 8, blood has been drawn. And they are picking bottom. They want to get Ricky. Snowball is there. Tag team is there, but in comes 6 to trade and that stick from Ricky. Ricky blinks away, but in comes Legacy. Has those boots to travel on Viper. Phoenix has no dive, but is juking. Meanwhile, Guam ends up dying there to the Ricky. And they appear to have no detection for him either. So somehow, Radiants are ahead from that engagement. And they're even TPing in Killjoy. They want to defend. They're TPing in the Puck as well. Coil is up. Silence is there. Orb is used. Chaz goes down. Now they go to Viper. Coil is there. He's trying to fight, but he certainly is unable to. He's fighting in a 4v1 and goes down. Meanwhile, top lane they're running at Webby. Guam is there. Has Snowball, brings undefined in there. They're still looking for DK. Slow is up from Lance, but they need a bit more damage. Webby is still trying to run. Has those 6 artists. Will use them. Can he survive? They're under tower with PL. Dragon Tail, though, is there. Guam, can he hit the shards? Can he hit the shards? No, he cannot! Webby is still alive, and now Guam is under attack. Has thrown away there from that dragon form. Dragon Knight. Whew. Good over at Nethworth. Nothing too shocking there. Puck ahead. Most cores, though, not too far behind. None of the, both the carriers did fairly well. Both the offlaners somewhat struggled, though everybody is still in the same ballpark. I believe you still can use a kiddie pool for your next DOS tent, sir. It's just, you have to label your stream I believe it is hot tubs, pools, and beaches. As I believe that would apply to the pool category. At that point, though, you're not competing with Dota streamers, you're competing with professionals. Actually, see a tower to that top lane. Now Viper Strike is there on Webby. In comes Phoenix Shane, trying to help his DK. Sunray is there, but it is to little effect. Webby goes down. Meanwhile, Ricky goes in there with those tricks of the trade, looking for Baker. Baker has Cold Embrace. Now in comes Guam, has Tag Team, looking for Shane. Shane goes down. Now they move to Ricky. Is there detection? Ice Shards is there. Hits on Ricky. Dust is used. Sentry is used. You buy wards. He is going to die as well. Coil is there from Potato. It's on to 4. He kills 2 already. Now he's looking for 1, but it's a Viper and a Tusk. Not so easy. Sharpshooter is there. Hits on Viper. In comes Goliath still. Looking for more, but Guam and Snowball still alive. Now he moves to Viper. Looking for Legacy. Needs a few more hits. Needs 1 more hit. Will get him. But now in comes the Chaz. In comes Guam. Looking to kill Puck. Puck gets an ultra kill there onto Guam. Chaz. Can he kill him? Needs more damage. Orb is there. Jaunt is there. And Puck will survive. My lord. What a fantastic team fight there from Potato. Showing that he can indeed play heroes that are not called Meepo at a very high level. And it looked so good there too for Klankers and the Guamments. It looked so good. And then suddenly Puck arrives. Perfect. 4-man coil. Manages to kill all 4, including the 2 difficult kills at the end. Fantastic. Now Viper Strike is there on Webby. He's on the run. Phoenix is trying to heal with that Sunray. DK has Dragon Tail, is trying to run away, is still tanky enough. And with those Fire Spirits, they will ward away Legacy from that kill. Back to bot. Carries are in that classic carry trade. Both of them want the creeps. Middle lane, meanwhile, we might see an actual fight. Puck is there with that Witchblade. But will not find a hero quite yet. They are seeing Radiant. They are not smoked, but they are grouped. They're headed into their own jungle, perhaps looking to grab that back from the PL. PL, though, has already run away, though, to the tri-camp. We are seeing now the 4-man smoke. Not sure if Dire saw it. Looking at their vision, they probably did. Yeah, they almost definitely did, actually. But they might get caught anyways. Legacy and the Chaz are showing in the mid lane. Puck is on the way. Is there a coil perhaps onto? It will be there, but only this time onto 1. Silence is there. Bushback is there. Sharpshooter even is used. They even picked the Supernova to kill the Chaz. And he most certainly is now in the grave, but is still a lot committed to get 1 kill, but is an important kill to get nonetheless. We saw Guam TP bot lane. Possibly go for a kill on Ricky, but could not find him. Meanwhile, top lane, they're looking for PL. PL has that doppelganger. Lose it up to the high ground, though they are still chasing. Obviously, Shane is there. Puck is there, but there is nothing but a Witchblade slow coming in. And Puck actually up on the wrong side of that cliff. Now PL is still running as another doppel. Will get bushwhacked by Killjoy. And will survive for now, but will end up dying to the orb at the very end. So, good kill there for the Radiant. Now they're looking for, once again, the Chaz, who has respawned. Exo is there. Viper is fighting. They're looking for Webby. He's on the run and will go down. Meanwhile, Puck is there in the backline. Looking for Weber. Baker is slow. In comes Snowballs. They're on Puck. Boss Punch is there. Puck will go down. Massive kill. A wicked 6 streak claimed by USS Guam. And now, they will go for this mid-tier 1 tower. Exo is still up for about half, okay, about 1/4 duration. Now they're headed to Killjoy. Are there spells? Bushwhack is there onto the Tusk. And now Dire are looking for more. Shane has dive, but Snowball is there on Killjoy. He certainly will go down eventually. And the kill will go to Viper. Exo, though, is now over. This mid-tier 1 tower will be a little bit harder to kill. And they appear to be leaving. Bottom lane, though, we are seeing Viper TPing in, looking for Ricky. Dust is used. TP is there. Can they kill him? No, they cannot. So a good attempt there by the Dire. They even brought in Dust on that Boots of Travel Viper. But they had no way to cancel TPs. And not enough damage to kill him during that channel. What are Dire up to? Are they smoking? Are they smoking? They are probably going to smoke S4. They certainly are setting up for it. Never mind, they will not do that. They will do nothing instead. They will sit there and hit some creeps. Radiant, meanwhile, they're the ones who are splitting the map. They are deep into the Dire jungle. They're claiming the Dire side farm. Though the same is true of the Dire as well. They're on the Radiant side jungle. They're claiming the camps on PL. And they have smoke on 3. They're looking for a hero to shove out this lane, but those heroes are not there. Ricky in the jungle. The rest towards this Tri-Camp, who, funnily enough, are smoking as well. Puck is on a journey. Perhaps looking for Dire heroes. Has Blink now. Looking at Radiant Vision. They will see a hero appear on the ward very soon. They'll see a Kerr at the very least, so they'll have an idea where Baker is. Now in comes Puck, but Snowball is there. Onto Puck. Puck is silenced. Puck is alive for now. In comes Sharpshooter. Will hit on the Chaz. But Exo is there. Winter's Curse is there on Phoenix. Phoenix should go down here. Unless... Okay, Supernova is now there. Dire are hitting it though. Can they kill it? They will kill it. But in comes Coil. They're on 2. DP is low. PL is low. Killjoy is on the run. Shit, he is already dead. And now they'll kill Killjoy as well. It's 2 kills for the Dire. They will not find more, but it is still 2 good kills to get. And Puck actually needs to be careful. Might have slipped up there. Is now caught. Is now silenced. Viper Strike is there. And Protato will TP away, I was going to say. He had such a great game until that mistake, but did not get punished for it. There was not a way to cancel that TP. Luckily for him, though, they did not punish the mistake. And he will live to see another day, for now. Question of the day in the draft was, what is Ricky going to buy? Will he be bringing back potentially a B Fury build to counter out this PL? Ultimately, did not do that. Opted for the more modern Diffusal build. We'll head into a Manta as well to obviously get all those silences. Notably from the DP. However, that does mean that for PL, he is going to accelerate eventually, and there will be very little to stop him. We are seeing Snowball though on to Rebby. Second Tail stun is there on Tusk, but now both teams are arriving, but Dire are the ones who have to retreat. Yep. Back over to PL, he is actually buying a Anj Yasha, which is a little interesting in this game, given the number of things you can Manta dodge, the number of things you can Manta dispel, but we haven't seen a lot of S and Ys in general this patch, so I guess this kind of happens. We are seeing smoke play. They are running into the Tri-Camp looking for heroes. They will perhaps find a hero. Snowball is there on Puck. Puck is low, but now in comes Exo. In comes Sharpshooter. In comes Winter's Curse, only there on 1 though. Now the Chaz is low. They're trying to kill this man. He will go down, and now Radiant are looking for more. They dive in with Supernova. Supernova, it's being hit, but I don't think they can kill it. Now Dragon Tail's there on Legacy. Bushwhack's there on Guam. Coil's there on 2. Buyback from the Chaz, but it's a disaster. Baker dead. Guam dropping. Legacy dropping. Radiant seems to be fine. Snowball's there on DK. DK actually goes down, and Guam is miraculously still alive. Puck orbed, but missed, looking for Guam, and now Radiant are running away. And they'll kill Shane as well on the end of the fight there at the PL. Ricky finally killed Guam. But Dire are now looking for these cores. Ricky, was not dusted. The dust barely missed there. And actually they want to go on PL. They're pinging the PL out. They're going in with the silence. Orb is there. Winning Rift is there. And PL actually will go down. So good opportunism there by the Radiants. They notice Klankers and the Guamments left their carry behind. And they kill them. Farming a camp as an isolated hero. Interesting fight. Now we're seeing a blink, Dragon Tail there, onto Baker, in comes Puck, in comes Sharpshooter from the Hoodwink. Wyvern is trying to live and is alive for now. Acorn Shot, though, will finish that one. Now Boss Punch is there on Potato. Potato is slow. Potato will go down, and now Webby has the Dragon Tail there onto the DK, but DK needs to run. Siphon is there from the Chaz. Snowball is up in 4. They should be able to find this DK if they can keep his blink canceled. They cannot actually, but they will go anyways. Now, Dragon Form and Dragon Tail are popped. Guam is stunned, but Guam is fine. But so is Webby. So it's merely a 1-for-1 exchange, though the Dire pick up the highest net worth hero in the game in that exchange. Now Atos is there on Ricky. Harper Strike is there. In comes a slow ball from Guam, but Trickster Tail will dodge that stun. Now Bushwhack is there on Guam. Guam is low. In comes Sunray. It's hitting Guam. We're seeing Ricky be run out. Dust is there. Slow is there. They are trying to kill Ricky, and Ricky will go down. Now Dire will look for more. They're looking for Killjoy. Bushwhack is there. It's there on 1. Phoenix tried to TP, but it got canceled by the Atos. Now Phoenix certainly will go down, and it was 2 kills for the Dire in defense of their Tier 1 tower. The tower is certainly fine. They pick up a very important kill there on Ricky, and an extra kill on Phoenix as well. If I'm the Radiant, I am starting to panic. I'm looking at these heroes, I'm looking at their items, and nowhere in there do I see the answer for Phantom Lancer. Ricky has not itemized for it. Neither has Puck, neither has DK. The PL is not quite large yet, but he is farming fairly freely at that. And that appears to be the question, is how do Radiant address the PL? I'm not quite sure if they can. And if you're a fan of MD2L rejects, that has to be on the top of your mind right now is, dear God, this PL is farming. He'll be the net worth leader somewhat soon. And our team has nothing to deal with this man other than catching him isolated with our Ricky and our Puck. On the flip side, Dire actually have somewhat decent tools to deal with these Radiant cores. They have the break for the DK, they've been carrying Dust for the Ricky, and they have the disable for the Puck. Radiance, it is go time. You need to play very well right here, right now if you want to win this game. They will grab the bot Tier 1 tower, and they will attempt to force the Tier 2, though now Dire will have a glyph to D-push if they need to. As that happens, Dire are pushing in the top wave. They glyph their wave and their bot Tier 2 tower, though the glyph will be reflected as well by the Radiants. The Radiant will keep their creeps alive with their own glyph. Radiants are pushing. Dire have already pushed. The Tier 1 is dead, but now the Tier 2 is under attack. Klankers and the Guamments will actually not be able to defend their Tier 2 in time. But now in comes Guam, looking for Potato, but will not find it. And now a Dust is used, but in comes Ricky, looking for Guam. Guam, though, will die there to the damage from Sharpshooter and Puck. We saw an ambitious Winter's Curse there, ultimately did not work out. In Radiance, pick up a very key kill, and they actually are still in the area of high grounds. They may try to force something, perhaps. Never mind, something perhaps will not happen. We now resume PL farming. Has now finished SNY. Is probably 1.5 items or so away from being a very significant unkillable hero, but he is not there quite yet. He is not that tanky. Looking over at Ricky, he is close to a Manta of his own, which will be very important in this game. Looking at Puck. The Yules is there, and that will be a Aghanim Scepter after that, which makes some sense. Though Dire do not have any BKBs quite yet, they are building them on, I guess only one hero, but it still has to have that extra degree of crowd control. Yeah, Dragon Knight, it's always sad looking at some offlaners farm sometimes. Dragon Knight only has that Blink Soul Ring Ogre Axe. On the flip side though, looking at DP, it's a similar tale, only a hood a Phase Boots, and an Ogre Axe. Both offlaners pretty sad on farm right now. Radiant, though, they are still at their tri-camp. They are farming. They are waiting. They do a smoke there on Shane. On the flip side, Dire. Looks like they have no smokes left. Correction, they have one in the backpack of Guam. So they can smoke if they truly want to. They are fully grouped as 5 in the bottom lane, though it appears as though they're content to push the bottom tier 2 tower. As that happens, though, Radiant once again are mirroring those movements. They will kill the top tier 2 tower, and now they lift their bottom tower. They may look to defend, or perhaps they will look to go into the Roshan pit instead. They are outmaneuvering the side of Klankers and the Guamments. If they get this Roshan, it will be massive. Dire are pushing, but they seem to be none the wiser for this Roshan attempt by the Radiant. It's down to half HP. They have an ED on Puck. It's a lot of damage. It's down to 1/4 HP, and Dire are actually in the high ground, perhaps. Exo is used by the Shaz. The tower is under siege, and Radiant are not defending. Aegis goes to Ricky, but the tower is only 1/3 HP. Now Sharpshooter is there, will be used onto Legacy. The tower, though, it's very low. It's down to 10% HP. And now Radiant, they chase outside their base. They will not jaunt in, though, on Potato. They will not attempt to chase much further. And now we appear to be at this odd sort of point where Radiant have this window right here, right now. It is 4.5 minutes where they will be strong. This will be their strongest 4.5 minutes. Right here, right now. They need to find something. They smoked up, looking at their vision. They see no heroes. There are a lot of options to claim. Viper is nearby, as is Guam. We'll head into the jungle. They're perhaps looking for Legacy, but Legacy is still fine for now. PL was pinged, but they could not get on PL in time. Smoke is ending, and they will not find the PL. Aegis timer, 3.5 more minutes. And Dire are dodging. They are pushing in the bottom lane. They are still at their tri-camp. They are avoiding Radiant movements. They have this ward in the high ground, spotting that one out quite nicely. Now, the rejects. They are looking for the mid-tier 2 tower. Webby is hitting there with that dragon form. As that happens, Dire, they're beginning to put up a defense. They're bringing in the PL illusions. Their wave actually is headed high ground bottom, but the tower will not die. Now Tail is there onto PL, though Witcher's Curse is there onto the DK. DK is half HP. Sharpshooter is there, hits on Guam. Guam is low. DK is low. DK goes down. Supernova is there, and it will certainly stun, but only on the one hero here. And now DP certainly dead. It's 1-for-1 so far, both offlaners going down. And now Radiant want more. They head on to Baker. Meanwhile, we're seeing Ricky is in a very bad spot. Went in there, but took a lot of damage. But he still has that Aegis. And now they're running at Killjoy. Killjoy will go down there on that Hoodwink. Aegis is popped, but Potato is large. He's looking for a Baker. Viper Strike is there on to Shane, but Shane dives away. Baker goes down. Now it's Ricky on the run. He has Manta, but Atos is there. Large Punch is there. Puck tries to help, giving him a blink target to escape, but it's not enough to escape. And now Puck is the one who has to escape, but will get away cleanly. But for the side of Klankers and the Guamments, it was what they needed. They took a somewhat even fight when Radiant were at their strongest. The Aegis was lost. In exchange, their high ground was not sieged. Middle, full HP. Top, full HP. Bottom, full HP. 0 damage on the tier 3s. And the PL is becoming a bigger and bigger problem as the game goes on. He is coming up on that heart. And for Radiant, the panic might be setting in. The dire draft is starting to come to fruition. And well, the Radiants do not have the answers they need. And they no longer have any smokes of deceit either, so they will be playing a very dangerous game. We're seeing Dire. They're once again splitting waves, forcing Radiant to respond. And as Radiant respond, it creates more space for PL to farm. It's an economic game that Dire are destined to win as it currently stands. And Radiant must go for jumps. It may be difficult, but if they do not, they will slowly lose with a death by 1,000 cuts. And now, well, is only a 2k net worth lead, and we are now seeing these tier 3 items come out. Looking at the items for both sides. Radiant pick up some pretty cool items actually. Dire. And actually, they also get an Orb of Destruction, so both teams get that Orb of Destruction. Dire, though, have to be happy with those items. Paladin Sword on the PL, Quickening Charm for the DP, Orb of Destruction for the Viper, and you even get a Silence for Baker. Radiant, meanwhile, they do get that Enchanted Quiver, actually, which is nice to have, perhaps, on your Hoodwink. But none of their items really help them necessarily. Oh, we're seeing Potato is caught now by 5. Dire went into them, they found him, and he will attempt to jaunt away there on Puck, but the inevitable will happen soon. He blinks away to the right. Can they find him? No, they will not, actually! They go up and to the left. They might see the orb, but it might be too late. Fantastic escape there on the Puck. And they're still chasing, they're in the trees. The Puck will not go down. The regen rune fully healed that man. That's a fantastic play there. Now top lane, we're seeing Viper went in, but it is to his own demise. The break is there, Legacy will go down. He has no buyback, and Radiant may have found their chance. They have 69 seconds. Coil is there. On 2. It's broken. On Baker. Supernova is there. Baker goes down. The Chaz might get stunned again. And now it's only 3 defenders. And now Ryan Taylor is there on the Chaz. He's being wrapped with Supernova. He is still alive though. Now we're seeing Yule's there onto Puck. Puck is trying to escape. He's under those tier 4 towers. He'll blink away. Back there to the Rax though. Tier 3 tower is dead. Bushwhack is there on Guam. Guam goes down. Dragon Tail is there on PL. And Dire, they're desperately trying to defend. They have 3 to defend with. Exo is there. Webby's being run at. The Rax, they're damaged but still alive. Radiant are running away. Blom blinked in, looking, fishing, but no catch. And the Radiants appear to recognize, hey, we made the right play there. We got some key kills. We forced out a buyback. We got a tier 3 tower, but this appears to be the end of the road for us for this push. Though, they have softened the high ground. They can return here at a later date, perhaps, to get the Rax. But Dire do not want to let another day happen. They are smoking on 2. They are looking to force the issue. Knowing Radiant do not have these key cooldowns. Supernova is down. Dragonform is down. Snowball is there. On to Webby. Webby is under siege. Dragontail is there. On to Guam. And there actually is no cancel to the TP. Atos was not in range. Guam had nothing left. And a miraculous TP away from Webby keeps him alive. And now, we may see a fight soon at the Roshan pit. When will it respawn? It is a very quick respawn. It'll be up in 30 seconds. Now we're seeing a Yules and a Bushwhack there onto Guam. Sharpshooter is there, but Guam will be fine for now. Now in comes PL looking for Killjoy, but Killjoy is too fast and will get away there with the help of Shane with that Glimmer Cape. And now Dire, they're sitting in the Roshan pit. BKB was popped by Webby, perhaps scared of Dire dumping him. Dire, though, remain in the Roshan pit vicinity. They are, though, still I'm talking in terms of Radiant at the Tri-Camp and Dire in their jungle. Both are still sitting around the Roshan pit. Both still want to contest it. Dire, though, appear to be aware it is alive now. It has respawned. Ricky, though, is now scouting. They'll now see it as well, so both teams are aware. Roshan is alive. Shards were used, but in comes Coil on Guam. It might be a dieback. Winter's Curse is there on 3. They're trying to kill Phoenix, stop Supernova, and they will! Shane is dead, Guam is dead, Shane buys back, and now Ricky is fighting. He's BKB'd. He heads to the Chaz. The Chaz is low. Killjoy, though, goes down. Puck chases Baker. We by Ward chases the Chaz. The Chaz goes down. Baker TP's away. But Radiance can now claim the Roshan. They killed 2. They force the remainder of Dire to leave. And if they want to, it is Roshan time. And they certainly do. Here we go. Ricky is hitting it from behind. Kind of. Sometimes. Occasionally. Okay, they are struggling with getting Ricky to hit it from behind. But the Roshan will die very quickly. Nonetheless, Dire probably are aware of this, but they have no means to stop it. And Radiance still have their cooldowns, mostly. Coil will be up in 14. Dragonfly will be up in 50. And in 50, they will have everything. And it is once again Aegis of the Immortal time. This may be their best chance once again. The PL, though, he certainly is ready to fight. He has that heart, and he's working on a Scotty. He has a penta-edged sword as well, but he will not choose. He will stick with the Paladin sword. Puck, meanwhile, has an Octarine Core. Very big item to pick up there. Get that cooldown reduction, get that cast range. Extremely powerful. Looking over at Ricky, that is a 8-second BKB. Use the first charge in that last fight over here to isolate out, I believe it was Baker. And now Dire need to be a little bit concerned. Radiance are currently stronger than them, actually. The PL is strong, but outside of the PL, the rest of these heroes are not that large. And Radiant have 4 more minutes on the Aegis of the Immortal. With the tier 3 already being dead, it will be a somewhat soft strike needed. They will though not commit quite yet. They will simply wait it out a little bit longer. Perhaps waiting for a better opportunity. They are headed towards the Tri-Camp, though Dire will spot out the movements from Puck. Dire, though, they are maintaining their waves to the best of their ability. They're not letting these creeps go high ground. They want to wait out the timer. Puck is pushing in the bottom lane, though, so we have been seeing a little bit of pushing out happening. Radiant are forced to send their Puck away temporarily, but obviously Puck has those travels, can return very easily. We're seeing a smoke from the side of Klankers and Guamments. Webby blinks in, but in comes out. They're trying to save their Viper. Cold Embrace is there. Viper still alive. Winter's Curse is there. On to Ubai Wards. But he goes in onto Baker. Baker, though, still alive. Now we're seeing Viper. It's isolated. Is stunned. Is low. Supernova is there. Baker dead. Supernova perfectly fine. Now we're seeing DK fighting PL and Viper. Will go down there. And the Chaz has that Exo. He's running in still. Sleeping Dart is there on the Chaz. Ricky sneaks away, though. The detection was not there. Now we're seeing the silence onto Killjoy. They want to pick up these supports. Glimmer is there. No, Ricky is on top of Baker. This will be a dieback if he dies. Now Dust is there. Manta, though, is there from Ricky. Ricky is invis once again. Coil is there. I believe onto 4. Baker goes down. And now Ricky is still fighting, looking for heroes, as is Puck. Coil breaks. Viper dead. Radiant, strong, but Ricky might lose the Aegis. Silence is there. On 3, Dragon Tail is there as well. Aegis popped. The Chaz, low. Guam, low, but PL still quite large. Buyback from Viper. Snowball comes in. On Webby. The Chaz is dead. Webby will go down. So dieback on him as well. And now, the Chaz buys back. Guam goes down. Leave the dieback on him as well. Now PL tries to find Puck, but Puck blinks away, and Ricky will sneak away as well, it appears. For the Radiant, they do once again pick up a fight win. It is a fairly costly one, though. It did cost them some buybacks, and it cost them the Aegis of the Immortal. Whew. It is hard. The Radiants are starting to pull away economically. The PL is large, but everybody else in the Dire is struggling. Legacy is poor. The Chaz is even poorer. Let alone the supports, who are certainly in poverty as well. And we have seen more and more in this patch, these sort of all-in 4P1 situations have not gone well for the 4P1 team. The question is, can PL pull this game out? He has nearly half of his team's net worth. There is going to be a lot on him this game. And Protato. Mr. Goliath over here has played an absolutely beautiful game on Puck. Has made very few mistakes. Has done a lot in these teamfights. Is being an absolute menace. But Radiant currently aren't defending their high grounds. Dire are going to head on in. They have that shard on Viper. They have a PL. They have a DP. They want to hit. Exo can be used. Is not used though. The Netherrack's bottom are very, very low. The siege units are still alive. Can they finish with the illusions perhaps? Siege units are still hitting. Illusion is still hitting. But Dragon Tail is there in the illusion. So the racks actually are still alive. Dire barely miss out on an absolutely massive Rax take bottom. And now they need to once again run away. The Radiants certainly are there to defend. And they will head back through that jungle. They are gone. Ricky, though, interestingly enough, has gone back for the late game Battle Fury. Something you do not see very often, but he's recognizing, hey, the PL is the problem. We have slowed down Viper's game, we have slowed down DP's game. This PL, though, is a bit out of control. I will go back for the fourth item, Battle Fury. I am here to clear the illusions. Radiant, though, they double smoke, bit of miscoordination on that one. They use both smokes on accident. But if the smoke connects, they might not need another smoke for this game, so they will head on over looking at their vision. They, I believe, saw a PL in the jungle. The PL is very far away, and it will be very hard for them to get on top of these Dire side heroes. Radiants are close to the high ground, and they're drawing the arrows. They're pinging. They want to force high ground. They want racks. They want towers. They want anything. But instead, they have Vanitas there on Ricky. But in comes Coil there on Legacy. Legacy is in danger. Supernova is there, and it will stun. In comes Exo from the Chaz. He wants to save his man. Legacy is dead. Dead for 120. Has no buyback. In comes Ricky. Winter's Curse is there. Ricky, though, is fine. In comes Snowball, in comes Silence, in comes Lost Punch. They need to save Ricky. Ricky is low, has no BKB. He goes down. Now Radiant must run. Webby on the run. Shane on the run. Shards are there. Webby goes down. They're now looking for the Phoenix. Silence is there. Lost Punch is there. Shane goes down. 3 kills for the Dire. And Killjoy will try to run away. Is there a cancel? Hell yes, there is. Snowball is there. And it will be 4 kills. When the Hoodwink inevitably goes down. And for Klankers and the Guamments, they may have done it. They may have survived. Though, this game certainly is not over yet. They will force out buybacks, and then it will be go time once again. And they actually might need to mind themselves. There will be 4 heroes that could potentially be in that fight, and Legacy cannot join them for 63 more seconds. But the target is obvious. It is the bottom set of barracks. They are still beaten, battered, and bloodied from the previous siege. The racks, despite regenning, still half HP. And that would be target number 1 for Klankers and the Guamments. They want to win this Dota game. Meanwhile, Potato is in the top lane, perhaps looking for the range racks top lane. He is buying time until his team returns. Bottom though, the melee racks are dead, the range racks are dead. Now Dire are TPing back, looking to save racks. In comes Guam. Is there a stun? Not in time. But the racks are still alive. And Dire will easily TP away with the rest of their members. It will be a clean retreat, and they'll have an entire full set of barracks in the bottom lane to their name now. Well, both teams are in a somewhat precarious position because of these buybacks. Looking at the buyback status, both teams are missing key buybacks. Dire have a couple on cooldown, as do Radiance, though the buybacks are coming up quite soon. Our question today is, when will the next Roshan be there? It'll respawn in 10 more seconds. Both teams, though, are not aware quite yet, though Baker may see Roshan when he walks in there, perhaps. Perhaps not. Perhaps not! Very unfortunate timing there for Baker. They actually barely missed out on the Roshan. He leaves the Roshan pit. Okay, now they'll see it with the Ice Shards. It's okay, wait a minute, Roshan wasn't alive. But it's alive now. But at this point, Radiant are scouting it with the Ricky illusions. They're now there at their tri-camp, headed on in, perhaps. In comes Guam, Shards are there, it is on Webby. Webby, BKBs, TPs will get away, but now they head to the Ricky. Dashes are there, Nullifier is there, the BKB is used by Ricky, but Ricky goes down, he has no buyback. Sharpshooter was used, but to little effect on Guam. And now Dire head into Roshan pit. They want more. Radiant will try as they can to shove in the mid lane. They want to force whatever they can, whoever they can, back as fast as they can. But the Aegis of the Immortal goes over to Legacy there on that Viper. Cheese heads over to PL as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Radiance in defeat. Head over to the Dire side tri-camp looking for some farm before the next fight. A must-win fight now for the side of the Radiance. For the Dire, though, they are sieging. They grab the top tier 2 tower. They perhaps want that second set of barracks. They are in position to push for 50 before Ricky has rejoined us. He lacks the gold for buyback. In the tower, dear God, it melts. Like cheese, like butter perhaps. The racks, well, very dead as well. It is a clean second set of barracks for the Klankers and the Guamments. And now middle lane, Killjoy and Guam are in a fight. But Killjoy may have overstayed his welcome. Can he TP in time? Yes, he can, actually. So a good escape there from Killjoy. But now, the Dire, with the Aegis, with the cheese, with the unstoppable man himself, undefined, non-phantom Lancer, will go for the full-on Mega Creeps. There are 2 towers and 2 square-shaped barracks in the way of that goal. And one of them now is dead. Abyssal is now up on PL. They will attempt to go high ground right here, right now. Radiant, though, are 5 to defend. Silences are there. Onto the Dire. And we're seeing Webby with that Aghanim and Dragon Tail form is there. But now Coil is there on 2. It's on Legacy and on the Chaz. Supernova is there. Can it go? Certainly will. And now Ricky is trying to fight, but he's stunned by Winter's Curse. Sunray is there. Radiant, though, are starting to fall apart. Aeondus is there on Phoenix. Ricky is low. Phoenix is low. Phoenix is dead. Baker, though, is betrayed. Now Ricky has to run, has no HP, and PL heads over to Webby. Meanwhile, Potato has returned, has silence on 4, but Webby goes down. He has no buyback. Phoenix, though, does have a buyback. Puck blinks away for now, but Dire head on to the barracks. Now we're seeing a Nullifier. They're on Guam. Guam is low, but Guam, though, still is alive. Ricky gets blink away to his teammates. Now the Melons are dead. Potato comes in. Dig on Guam. Guam is dead, but Puck will get away for now. Now Puck has to run. Atos is there on Puck. He's silenced. Has Yules. Save himself. Now Radiant are trying to go in now. They go in, looking for Legacy, but the Abyssal actually was missed, I believe. Regardless, Legacy will go down. And now Puck is trying to disrupt. Sleeping Dart is there on PL. They don't find the Chaz. They want to get this kill. But now in comes the eye from Phoenix. They want to get more. Bushwhack is there. Hits on the Chaz. The Chaz will go down. And now the one man left in a 1v4 is PL. But he has that ninja gear to smoke himself away. It is now popped by the Ricky. Can Ricky find him? Is he in range of Sleeping Dart? He is. Doppelganger is there. Can they find the correct one? They want to find this man. It will find this man. But the problem is there is no follow-up. And PL is actually under the Sentry Ward. He will hit Ricky. Ricky has tricks of the trade. He's trying to fight, but PL is on the run. And will very easily get away. For the Radiants. They tried. They tried so hard. But they could not find the right fight to break the high ground. In the reverse, certainly was not true. They're down 3 full sets of barracks. It is Mega Creeps, or Klankers, and the Guamments. And the number one Spectre sitting over their head, the large PL, it has been realized. He is, unfortunately for the side of the Radiance, absolutely unstoppable. This man is 6-slotted. He has sold his boots for more items. And Radiance may go for one last Hail Mary smoke play. It is in the inventory of Shane. It's not used yet, actually. Perhaps they're waiting on Potato. There's currently juking in the bottom lane and should survive. Will survive. So Radiant must once again push out their lanes. They're forced to once again shove them in. They are up by 5k still, but gold means nothing when your map control is, well, pretty anemic right now. They have very little control. Dire are congregating in the bottom lane. They are currently S4, and, well, the Chaz actually might not be there very fast, but he can still TP to that shrine. Might soon join his team there. Dire have a smoke on Guam, but appear not to use it just yet. Radiant, meanwhile, are doing what they can to push in these lanes. Ebby, though, has to run away, and will successfully run away at that. Actually, are seeing a tip onto Webby. Legacy was able to force him away from sieging and taking his top outpost. It's currently turning very difficult for the side of the Radiant. They still are down a full set of Mega Creeps. They are attempting to push out their lanes. Puck does have a Divine Rapier. The question is Puck with a Divine going to be enough? Dire, though, are being patient. They are not shoving it in too early. They do not want to overforce their hand. They are going to wait. They say, you know what? We have a hell of a lot more map we can farm. We can finally bring this net worth lead into our favor for the first time in a very long time. And perhaps they'll wait on that, what is that, the 4th Aegis now? 4th? I believe 4th Aegis, yeah. Speaking of that fourth Aegis, it will be respawning anywhere from a minute from now to 4 minutes from now, so we may be still waiting a little bit longer for something to happen. A wee bit longer. Radiants, very obviously, are forced into their base. Dire have a little more freedom. They are pushing in the lanes as well. They're also very easily able to farm up these jungle and tri-camp areas. Radiants are on a little bit of a foray to their own tri-camp, but need to mind themselves. Baker actually is forward. Yules is there from Killjoy onto Baker. Pushback though was not hit. Now Radiant are starting to run away. Never mind, Webby is actually running in. Atos was there on Webby, but he got away in time with that Blink Dagger. Disjointing and dodging that Atos from Viper. And Radiant remain, they're just desperately trying to push in these lanes, but they're having a very rough time of it right now. They have 4 heroes sitting by the tier 4s, desperately trying to cling on to whatever buildings they have left at their base. Dire are now, once again, never mind, they're walking away once again. They drop their toxin and they walk away, so it's nothing actually happening again quite yet. Roshan, though, luckily for us, has respawned very early this time around. Dire can very easily kill it if they want to, and they will begin the attack on Roshan. It is indeed the 4th Roshan, so it is Aghanim's Blessing, Refresher Shard, a Cheese, and an Aegis of the Immortal, which will go to the Viper. Alright, where's the everything going here? Where's the everything going? Where's the Ags upgrade? Looks like the Ags upgrade just went to the Chaz. That's a nice boost to his net worth there from that Aghanim's Blessing upgrade via Roshan. Actually, thanks to that Aghanim's Blessing, have regained the net worth lead. And now, perhaps with that Cheese and the Aegis and the Refresher Shard there, which is on Baker, they may finally feel confident to once again try to force high grounds. There is very little left to take. Bushwhack is there onto the Viper. Viper is being attacked by Puck, but Puck cannot get that kill quite yet. Sharpshooter was a little bit off the mark. Now Exo is there. Viper is hitting. The racks are, the towers, I should say, are under siege. Winter's Curse is there, and Puck Puck though is still fine. Now DP is dropping low. DPS Cheese uses Cheese. Ricky is trying to fight. Snowball is there, but does very little stun. Now Winter's Curse is once again there. This time it's on to 3. Ricky goes down, has no buyback. Supernova is there. Viper Strike is there. The Chaz is no longer there. Webby goes down as well. The Dire are running low on HP actually. Sunray is there. Puck is doing so much damage. Another Cheese is used. And now Puck, with that Rapier, will jaunt away to the fountain. But the tier 4, one of them is dead. The other one's under attack. Now Puck goes in, looking for Viper. Cannot kill Viper. Cold Embrace is there, keeping Viper alive. And now we're seeing a Walrus Punch there, onto Puck. Puck is very low, has Rapier. Can't get away though. They cannot kill that man. And now Dire head back to the tier 4s. The other one is now dead. They head to the Ancient. They are hitting. The Glyph is there. Puck once again returns, looking for Breaker, but the Abyssal is there. Puck goes down. No buyback. No more Rapier. Webby goes in, trying to salvage the fight, but the fight, it is a disaster. Webby goes down. It's only 2 supports. There are no buybacks. And Klankers and the Guamments pick up a 2-0 on top of a fantastic back and forth. Game 2. Well done. Whew. Group B is tight. That's for sure. At this point now, looking over at those Group B standings, we have 3 different teams with 4 wins now. MD2L Rejects are 4-4. Klankers and the Guamments also are now 4-4. And for Klankers and the Guamments, they're proving the Touters wrong. A lot of players in LADs, a lot of observers of LADs, put this team towards the bottom. Some people had them at the very bottom. But now, they are up to 500. They are 4-4. They are in the playoff picture. And they did it on top of a very good 2-game series. Game 1, it was a purely strong economic game. They ran their net worth advantage down the throat of MD2L Rejects. And now Game 2, they played the more difficult game. They had to withstand the onslaught from MD2L Rejects. They had 2 good chances there with those aces early on. Could not, though, break the high ground. And despite everybody but PL being quite poor, it did not matter. They grouped and played around their PL. They put their faith in that man and they empowered him to outlast MD2L Rejects. And you know what? You cannot take Klankers and the Guamments lightly. I was very impressed by this carry player, this undefined guy. I thought he had a very, very good series. The Slark, Game 1. The PL, Game 2. Was quite impressed. Thought Baker also had a very good series. Wyvern play there. It was certainly difficult. They had a lot of heroes in that game who can ruin Wyvern's game. The Ricky, the Blink DK, the Blink Puck. And yet, Baker still had some very good Cold Embraces and some very good Winter's Curses. Regardless, though, thank you for tuning in to a 2-game series between Klankers and the Guamments and the MD2L Rejects. My apologies for missing part of game number 1. Wrote down the time of the series incorrectly, so that is my B. I'll try not to do it again. But if you were there for the games that the game 2, obviously the majority of the game when it was cast, thank you for joining me. My name is Badger. If you enjoyed my cast, feel free to contact me on Discord, Badger number 5713, if you want me to cast your games and/or cast your tournaments. And as per always, have a great night.